I kid you not, we have a pretty big problem with our subway system and our public transportation system here in New York City. Our state governor, Andrew Cuomo, has gone as far as to call it the summer of hell. The epicenter of this issue is right over here at Penn Station in the middle of Manhattan. This station and a few others like it across the city are old and need to be updated. Take all of the trains coming in from all different parts of the state, every possible angle. You put these two things together and that's the summer of hell. We've just, we've got a situation here. But while we're all waiting to figure out what happens, I figured I'd take a little time to share with you an interesting story about my commute home late one night. I worked a very long day. It was over 12 hours. I was tired. I took the subway home. I got off at my stop in Queens, and then I waited for the bus. The bus was going to be my shuttle to get from the subway station back close enough to where I could walk the rest of the way home. I'm waiting what felt like an eternity because the buses and the trains don't run on their normal schedules after about 10:30, 11 o'clock p.m. About 20 minutes go by, the bus pulls up. There's just a couple of people sitting in the back. The door slides open, and there's a Jamaican driver behind the wheel. He seems nice. He's got long dreadlocks. I figured, let me give the guy a smile. Maybe he could use a little cheering up at the end of a long day. Let me just grab my Metro card here. Hey, how you doing? He was pretty visibly tired, and you know what? It was fine. I didn't even know why I threw him a smile. Most people in New York City are just unhappy people, and that's okay. Let me just shut up and sit down and let's go home. I find my way to a seat. I pretty much had my pick of the entire bus because there were only about 4 other people on at that time. We're driving down this long boulevard, and then we come to this first right that cuts around one neighborhood that leads into the back of mine. So here we are coming down the street. As we turn on, we see an ambulance parked up ahead with its lights flashing. This is going to be our ambulance, and this is our street of cars right here. Now the ambulance was parked right about here. And then this is going to be our city bus. We pulled onto the street coming from this side, and then we had apartments over here, and then apartments all over here. These flashing lights have got everybody's attention. We pull up right behind the ambulance, and the bus driver starts honking his horn, hoping for a response. There's nobody around on the street, no pedestrians, no paramedics near the truck. We don't know where anybody is. Now the bus driver takes this opportunity to swing his little seat gate open so he could step out. He opens the bus door and just steps out and starts walking around on the street. Now we're watching out the window and we see the bus driver kind of just run around the corner of one of the apartment buildings and he disappears. He's gone. Now, the next logical step in my mind was to consider stealing the bus and how easy it would be to pilfer this city vehicle for my own use. I think of myself as a pretty honest person. I don't usually even consider stealing city property, but I've never been left with such a golden goose opportunity. I would smile at people when they got on the bus and gave me a smile. Well, right as I was about to go test how the seat felt, just because, again, rare opportunity here, the bus driver reappears, hops back on the bus. I'm so sorry, I can't find any paramedics outside. I can't even back the bus up. It's too dangerous. This, him not knowing what was going on or what to do or how to back the bus up off of this block, was the first thing he probably said to anybody on this ride. One of the other passengers, rightfully so, gets up and leaves. 1 down, 4 to go. Wait, I have a plan. We're gonna back the bus up down the block. I can't do it myself. I just need a hand. Somebody go outside in the back and spot me. We're gonna back the bus up. Yeah, that didn't go over too well. One of the other 3 people on the bus got up and left. Wait, look, we can do it together. I just need help backing the bus up. Now, I'm a smart guy. I have a driver's license. I've been in my fair share of large vehicles. But before you judge me, can you really blame any of us who were riding that night for not helping this guy back a city vehicle up the block? I mean, it's a big bus. I don't know how these things handle or turn. I'm having trouble understanding the driver with his thick Jamaican accent. I just didn't want to be responsible for having this thing back into a parked vehicle, and then we're really going to be there all night. Thankfully, he only had about a minute to try to convince us before we heard some voices out near the apartment complex. A group of firefighters just stepped out from the alley and saw this city bus blocked behind the ambulance. Oh, thank goodness, I just need help backing the bus up. You want to back the bus up? No, you got enough space. You can make this. I can't let you back the bus up down a street. Look, it's really tight. I'm just not comfortable. I'm going to hit one of the cars. Just, if you help me back up, we'll be gone in 2 minutes. Look, all of us will come over and help. You got enough space. Let's get you through. You guessed it. Another person in the back of the bus gets up and leaves. Now it's just myself and one other younger guy. At this point, I've convinced myself I'm staying and seeing this through just because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be part of this experience. The bus driver, he's starting to sweat. He was going to need all hands on deck from these firefighters to help him out, but all they were doing was laughing at him. Maybe the firefighters knew what they were talking about. I'll trust New York's bravest. All right, look, start coming through, start coming through. Let's, come on, help him, guys. Help me point the way. You're good, you're good. You got so much space on both sides. Bring it through, bring it through. For every inch that bus crawled, the driver must have checked about 120 different angles in his rearview mirror, in his side mirrors, in his wide-angle mirrors. I mean, I gotta give this guy some credit. He really visibly went out of his comfort zone to get this bus moving. But I'm happy to report the bus made it through with what looked like millimeters of clearance on each side. And right after we cleared the back of the ambulance, we saw what looked like the fire chief standing behind the ambulance, keeled over in tears. He was just laughing so hard and tears were coming down his eyes. He must have thought that this was hilarious. Maybe because they drive fire trucks all the time, they think it's not a big deal, but our bus driver, he really, you know, he was freaking out. I see my stop on the horizon. I turn around. Whew, that was pretty crazy, right? How's that for some late night Friday entertainment? Bro, I know, I'm Snapchatting this entire thing. I think this was hilarious. I never did see that snap. I didn't even use Snapchat, to be honest with you, but we pulled up to my stop, and as I got up and got ready to get off, I figured I would try one more time to give the bus driver a little bit of a smile, just to let him know that I appreciated what he went through to get us home. Grab my book bag. Hey, thanks again for that. That was some fancy driving back there. Just as the bus driver returned my compliment with an utterly blank stare, the MTA returns all the fares we pay with absolutely no assistance in resolving the transportation issues this summer of hell. I hope you and yours stay cool. Please consider subscribing. I'm gonna have a lot more stories for you to listen to as you wait for your method of public transportation to arrive next time.